Welcome back to Bourbon Country Reacts.
Hey everybody, that's Keith in the Corvette hat that he hasn't worn in a really long time. No, wait, that's a Porsche hat. My bad.
Do you even know what cars are?
Whoa, hold on. I remembered your Corvette hat used to have all the stickers. Now your Porsche hat has all the stickers.
I was a good boy.
You still...
When I'm a good boy, I get stickers.
Keith is a good boy and gets stickers and listens to country music. When y'all send us a bottle of bourbon or whiskey, and this is from Steve.
Oh, okay.
So I wonder what Steve's got in tune for us. Maybe.
What's the bottle?
What's the bottle? It's called Seven Sons.
And now I've got Iron Maiden in my head again. Seven Son, blah, 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 blah.
Established in 1847. What was the date? That's
1975.
Okay, that's not. They're not close.
This is not a YouTube video recorded in 1897.
Okay, well, we'll get into this after I figure out how to open the bottle. Hey, there's a little tap. After I figure out how to open the bottle, what song do we have in store?
So, the song is C.W. McCall, Wolf Creek Pass.
Okay.
Now, when I was searching for this video,
Yeah.
and I typed in C.W. McCall, the first option was Convoy. You remember that song?
I don't think so.
Well, it's got all the CB radio talk, and the truckers get together in this big convoy. It's a story song, and it was incredibly popular back in the mid-'70s. And they even, I don't know which one came first, the song or the movie, but they had a movie, Convoy.
Really?
And it was about this huge convoy of truckers that were basically just fuck you to law enforcement, and they
Drove on through?
They drove
However they wanted?
however fast they wanted for as long as they wanted, like hundreds and hundreds of trucks. And I think I would have been 4 when I watched that movie. And of course, from that day forward, had to be a truck driver. It just had to.
That was your
That's
life
what,
goal?
That's what truck.
Not a firefighter?
That's
truck
what
driver.
truck driver. Yes, absolutely.
Not a race car driver.
It probably influenced, I'd say, until about 2000. I was commuting a lot, and I would be in a sports car with a big whip CB antenna on that thing,
Yeah.
and getting the bear reports from all the other drivers out there, and
Miking up?
yep, and running triple digits, and truckers helping me out, letting me know where the burrs were. But,
I mean, now we have ways.
now we have ways, and I do not have to have a big whip antenna. The funny thing is, these a lot of times running on pretty busy interstates, I'd wind up with like 6 other cars in tow, going like 90, 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Because they saw that antenna.
Right. They knew. They were like, oh, he knows. He knows.
Because I had the combo.
You were the convoy.
Radar detector and antenna. I had all the intel. Problem was, for when I was doing this a lot, most of my commute was through Virginia.
Well, and the other problem is you only ever went the speed limit.
And when I was going 90, 100, it was on a closed track under as a professional driver.
Right.
But anyway, in Virginia on that closed track,
Uh-huh.
you had to take the radar detector down. Cause
Oh.
let me tell you, if you want a traffic stop to go poorly in Virginia, let them see that radar detector.
Ain't gonna be well in the same
Or slam on your brakes as soon as they hit that instant on radar. Nailed, and you're going to have a bad time.
every time. I had one of the passports. You remember those?
Yeah.
Those were like top dog back in the day.
Yep.
And they had a little button that you could push to pull them off the dash, but that kept the 2 little suction cups. Cops knew what that was.
The rings.
You had to.
They know.
Like,
well, speaking of that, and sorry about this, but
are you?
a little diverting from our purpose here. So Mike Valentine, the founder and owner of Valentine.
Yep. And he was the main competitor for Passport.
Yeah, he passed away recently.
Oh, dang. I didn't know that.
And drove with us and instructed for us on a very regular basis in the car club I do a lot of tracking with. And when he passed away, he had a garage reserved. And we set up a chair and put a steering wheel in the chair, and left that there the entire weekend in his honor.
That's cool. That's neat.
Took pictures of it, sent it to his family and stuff. He was a really nice guy.
That's cool.
So if I were in the market for a radar detector, I would definitely buy a Valentine just because he was such a cool guy.
So Valentine's, what was different about them, they were about the same price as the Passports. What was different about them is they somehow gave you direction. They have little
where
arrows.
It was coming from?
Yeah.
Neat.
So.
All right, well.
Anyway, we digress.
Yeah,
so this is Wolf Creek Pass, not Convoy.
Yep, so let's see what this is about.
Me and Earl.
Whoa. I'm going to back that intro up. Listen for the guitar underneath.
Okay.
Right before he starts singing.
Me and Earl was all fast on the flatbed out of Wiggins, and we'd spent all night on the uphill side of 37 miles of hell called Wolf Creek Pass, which is up on the Great Divide. We was sitting there sucking toothpicks and drinking knee-highs and onion soup mix, and I says, Earl, let's mail a card to Mother and then send them chickens on down the other side. Yeah, let's give them a ride.
Wolf Creek Pass, way up on the Great Divide, trucking on down the other side.
Well, Earl put down his bottle, mashed his foot down on the throttle, and then a couple of boobs with 1,000 cubes and the 1948 Peterbilt screamed alive. We woke up the chickens. We roared up off of that shoulder, spraying pine cones, rocks, and boulders, and put 400 head of them Rhode Island Reds and a couple of burnt-out roosters on the line. Look out below, 'cause here we go.
Wolf Creek Pass, way up on the Great Divide, trucking on down the other side.
Well, we commenced the trucking, and them hens commenced a clucking. Then Earl took out a match and scratched his pants and lit up the unused half of a dollar cigar and took a puff. Says, "My, ain't this pretty up here?" I says, "Earl, this hell can spill us. You better slow down, you gon' kill us. Just make one mistake and it's the pearly gates for them 85 crates of USDA-approved cluckers. You want to hit second?"
Wolf Creek Pass, way up on the Great Divide, trucking on down the other side.
Well, Earl grabbed on the shifter and he stabbed her into fifth gear, and then the chromium-bladed, fully illuminated, genuine accessory shift knob come right off in his hand. I says, "You want to screw that thing back on, Earl?" He was trying to thread it on there when the fire fell off of his cigar and dropped on down, sort of rolled around, and then lit in the cuff of Earl's pants and burned a hole in his socks. Yeah, sort of set him right on fire. I looked on out of the window and I started counting phone poles going by at the rate of 4 to the 7th power. Well, I put 2 and 2 together and added 12 and carried 5 and up with 22,000 telephone poles an hour. I looked at Earl and his eyes was wide, his lip was curled and his leg was fried, and his hand was froze to the wheel like a tongue to a sled in the middle of a blizzard. I says, "Earl, I'm not the type to complain, but the time has come for me to explain that if you don't apply some brake real soon, they're going to have to pick us up with a stick and a spoon." Well, Earl reared back, cocked his leg, stepped down as hard as he could on the brake, and the pedal went clear to the floor and stayed right there on the floor. And it says it's sort of like stepping on a plum. Well, from there on down, it just wasn't real pretty. It was Hairpin County and Switchback City. One of them looked like a can full of worms. Another one looked like malaria germs. Right in the middle of the whole damn show was a real nice tunnel now, wouldn't you know? Sign says clearance to the 12-foot line, but the chickens was stacked to 13-9. Well, we shot that tunnel at 110 like gas through a funnel and eggs through a hen. We took that top row of chickens off liquor and scum off a Louisiana swamp. Went down and around and around and down. We run out of ground at the edge of town. Bashed into the side of the feed store in downtown Pagosa Springs.
Wolf Creek Pass way up on the great divide, trucking on down the other side. Wolf Creek Pass way up on the great divide, trucking on down the other side.
That was a ride.
That was different.
So, do you think he influenced Ray Stevens?
I don't know. I
Or
have
vice
no
versa?
idea. I don't know.
Chickens and weed eater gas, huh, Steven? I got it.
Picking up the theme Steve's
It was
putting down.
chickens
Isn't it?
and diesel. So, close.
I don't think there was kink involved, but you
There were
really,
kinks in the road.
yeah. You remind once. So if you're headed south out of West Virginia, pretty much anywhere, you're going to go over Fancy Gap. And so that comes off of the Appalachian Plateau and drops down onto the eastern seaboard. And it's about 7 miles of an 8% grade.
Yeah, it's steep.
And one time, CB's, my dad, I was probably 10. My dad was driving, and we were following a big truck. Now, you know what that road's like. It's got turns.
Yeah,
It's got curves.
right.
And we were pretty late, maybe 1:32 in the morning. And so there's no traffic.
It's steep as hell. And yes, it has turns.
And we're following this truck down that mountain. And, I mean, we're in a 77 Ford Thunderbird.
Okay.
So, a battleship with, well, an aircraft carrier jet deck operations going on the hood. And my dad, we're floating down that hill.
Because that's what they did, is they floated.
We're going fast as hell behind this truck. My dad reaches over and grabs a CB and says, hey, do you have any idea how fast we're going? Trucker says, what are you showing? And Dad goes, I don't know. I ran out of numbers at 85. Trucker goes, mine only goes to 70. I ain't got no idea how fast we're going.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I've kind of partially lived that. I didn't smash into a feed store at the end and did not destroy a row of chickens.
Were you on that same road when a truck
Oh, God, the weather.
Uh-huh.
Holy hell. I guess I could tell them about that. So I'm on a BMW S1000RR motorcycle, which
RRR.
at the time was absolutely the fastest production motorcycle on earth.
Can you imagine that he had that?
And I come off the top of Fancy Gap and I look, and as soon as I clear it and start heading down the hill, the sky goes black, green, and brown.
Not a good sign. You know what that means.
I'm like, oh, this is a bad freaking scene. But as you're coming, until you get
He's on two wheels.
onto the eastern seaboard, the flat stuff down there, there's no place. There's no shelter. There's nowhere to pull over. Nothing. So
You're completely exposed.
I'm coming down the mountain and get hit with
When you
this
come?
freaking wall of water and wind. And I'm running because the tires I had on the bike, hydroplaning wasn't a concern. And I'm thinking I need to get out of this weather. And I'm running about 80. And I know for a fact that there were 80-mile-per-hour winds in that storm because the rain around me on the motorcycle is falling straight down. It wasn't even hitting my visor. And, the wind changed direction. I'm catching it from the side, and I got behind this big truck, and the road spray was limiting my visibility. I had to back out of it, couldn't go fast anymore. Well, I see in my mirror this other big truck swing out into the fast lane, pulled up beside me and paced me and shielded me from that wind all the way down the mountain.
That's cool as hell.
And when it flattened out, the rain started to kind of lift a little bit. It was still raining pretty hard, but I wasn't getting blown around anymore. So I wicked it up, jumped out in front of him with a little bit of space, threw 2 fingers up in the air and a thumbs up, tucked my head, tap, tap,
Gone.
and like a bullet to get out of that weather. And, well, that's... Oh my, there's a follow-up to this that's far, far worse. I don't know if you've heard it.
I don't remember a follow-up.
So I was going to Greensboro, North Carolina, because that was the closest BMW motorcycle dealership.
Oh, yes, don't tell them this story.
Don't?
Not with the iron. Nope. Maybe another time. Not today. Yep, I know that story very well.
It does involve an iron.
It actually, I know, and it actually makes me nervous whenever we hit rain at the track. Because I'm like, oh, here we go. No burritos for Keith. Saying.
So these are the clues you have.
Uh-huh.
It involves an iron and burritos.
And race leathers. That's it. That's all you got to know. Anyway, so a question I have, since we've already digressed so much, do you think that trucker culture is still there, or has it degraded?
I have no idea.
Some of y'all need to let us know.
Yeah, tell us.
Because I think back in the day, like, there was some real entertainment on the CBs,
Oh, yeah.
right? And that culture was strong.
It was. I don't know if that still exists.
With the way that we see some truckers drive these days,
kind of don't think it's there.
that's what I'm saying. So if y'all know, let us know. Because I don't have a CB. I used to. You don't have one anymore.
No.
So let us know. But
Yeah.
let's so fun story tune that really painted a great picture. I loved it when he did math. That was hilarious. 22,000 telephone poles per minute. What do you think? Is that the first time you've tried that?
No.
Okay. Did you see the proof?
I did not.
Oh, that's really big on there.
I won't look. So I'll give you the tasting notes that I'm getting so far. So the initial has a lot of corn sweet with a touch of some sort of citrus, maybe a lime. That's what I'm getting, but just a touch of it.
Yep.
Let me think about the mid.
Gobs of vanilla.
I was going to say vanilla anyway.
Gobs of vanilla.
Gobs of vanilla, and the finish is a really pleasing mix of corn sweetness with a sneaky oak.
Yeah.
Because the oak rolls in slow,
Yeah,
but it
and
never stops rolling
It
in.
builds. It just builds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this quite a bit.
Yeah.
Proof game? I'm going to go 90. Oh, it's 90 on the nose. All right.
I think he saw it.
I swear I did not see
He
it.
didn't see it.
I actually will snitch on myself when I see it.
Yeah, he would. I've seen it before. So this is made by Ross and Squibbs Distillery.
Somewhere in Texas, I assume.
You know, from Steven, you would think that.
It'd be Texas, yes.
No.
Are your neighbors going to form a lynch mob on you now, Stephen?
I doubt it.
You sent us a non-Texas.
He sent us a local whiskey.
Local to Texas?
Nope. Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
Interesting.
So, I mean, it's local to us.
Yeah, and so that's like the third distillery that we've encountered from Lawrenceburg.
Lawrenceburg.
And I swear I wonder if they are leasing parts of the MGP facility.
That's what I wonder too.
And they won't let anybody in there.
Well, you know what we need to do?
Recon mission, face paint, black hoodies,
That's one
night
option.
vision.
I was thinking a little more tame than that. Like when it warms up, you drive fast car, I drive fast bike, we go.
And just see what they'll let us see.
See what's down there.
All right.
Because I'm sure there's some roads.
There are. They're not particularly interesting, but they're there.
Have you been there?
I've been pretty close to it.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, then we don't have to go.
No,
Well,
hey,
it's
no,
an
I'm
idea.
down.
I'll
I'm
get some
down.
idea. Anyway, Steven, thank you for the bribe.
Hilarious song.
Yep.
Pretty darn good bourbon.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So,
Rye. It's a rye.
Is it?
Yeah.
That explains all the vanilla.
Correct.
All right. So if you enjoyed this video and our weird ass digressions, give us a like. Drop down in the comments. Tell us what country music we need to check out. Tell us what North American whiskey we need to try. And we will see you next time.
See ya.